Hello everyone, ex-Wallkill Bethelite here. And there's a danger in Jehovah's Witnesses going back to their recruitment, their door-to-door. They're standing next to carts in grocery stores and at fairs and things like that. There's a danger in this, and the danger is that Jehovah's Witnesses have been essentially gone from the world scene for the last few years. It's been years since they've done anything like that. People haven't seen a bunch of people with book bags going around their block in years, in a long time. And the danger is that people forget who Jehovah's Witnesses are. That people lower their guard because Jehovah's Witnesses haven't been around in so long that we've forgotten how dangerous they are. We've forgotten the damage that they do to people personally and the damage that people suffer in regards to their families, and the damage that's done to people's physical bodies because of not accepting certain medical practices. That's the danger that we have to get away from. We can't become complacent because, we haven't had to be too active in activism. Jehovah's Witnesses have been gone for years, essentially, off somewhere in a Zoom meeting, nobody cared. But now they're trying to go back out and victimize people, and we can't be quiet about it. We can't be nice about it. I've heard people say, Jehovah's Witnesses are going back door to door. Let's be nice to them. No, we don't have to be nice. That's a Jehovah's Witness concept. That's a Jehovah's Witness ideal. That they're going to go, that they can go to anybody's house, they can go out in the public, and everybody has to be nice to them. No, we have the freedom of speech. We have the freedom to protest. Protest, Jehovah's Witnesses. Don't be nice to them. This is a cult. Don't be nice to them. Fight against them with protest. Protest, not niceness, is what's been effective with regards to Jehovah's Witnesses. When you see Jehovah's Witnesses go back out again, standing next to carts trying to victimize all these poor people have no idea that their entire lives are going to change once they come in contact with Jehovah's Witnesses, join that cult, and the next thing you know, their whole family is destroyed, never to be repaired again, because Jehovah's Witnesses have got one specialty, one thing they do better than anybody else, and that is demolish your family. I know people who they don't have mothers. I know people who don't have fathers. I know people personally who do not have limbs on their bodies anymore because of the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses, because that cult sent a group of people to the hospital to encourage that person to die. And some of them didn't die, but some of them had to have things amputated. Imagine the horror as you find out that this religion you thought was true is a cult, but it's already taking a toll on you. Your arm is gone. I know somebody. They've had amputation because they didn't accept medical treatment. We have got technology now, medically, beyond what we've had years in the past. And there are people, because of that cult, that are still using essentially old technology, and their bodies are suffering damage it would not normally suffer with the technology we have today. But Jehovah's Witnesses send committees, send people to hospitals to encourage people to either die or sustain sometimes permanent damage because of not taking the transfusion, the different medical procedures that they don't want people to take. People don't realize any kind of surgery where a doctor says, hey, you could lose a lot of blood. We need to do such and such to make sure you don't lose too much. And the Jehovah's Witnesses, no. Don't use all that brilliant medical technology on me. Cut me open and don't replenish fluids that I lose. And then after that, some of these people do not die immediately, but they do not live anywhere near as long as they would have. So there's a lot of people that have died immediately in the hospital because of Jehovah's Witnesses. There are even more people that died not long after. They didn't live as long of life as they could have lived because of Jehovah's Witnesses. Their lives were shortened. And then there's other people that have physical ailments to this day. Amputations. They're going without a whole arm or a whole leg or fingers because of Jehovah's Witnesses. Let's not forget who Jehovah's Witnesses are. Let's not forget who it is circling people's blocks with book bags. Those are the people who have the huge pedophile problem. Those are the people who are sending, along with everybody else to people's doors, the pedophiles also. So Jehovah's Witnesses have been gone off the scene, off the radar to a certain extent for a lot of people for years, and here they pop back up. No, it's not time for people to forget who they are and just be friendly and open the door and let these people in. No, it's not time for people to walk up to these carts and just be friendly and take a magazine and forget what in the world it is that they're getting themselves involved in. We have every right to fight against Jehovah's Witnesses because we have got the freedom of speech. Do they have freedom of religion? Yeah, nobody has a problem. Go in your house and you refuse medical treatment. Don't go sit in committees to go tell other people to refuse them. You go and you go do you. You've got the freedom to believe anything you want. You don't have, there's nothing in the Constitution that says you got the freedom to go bang on somebody's door and they got to be nice about it. You got the freedom to go send pedophiles and who knows who all else into people's communities, into people's neighborhoods, and they got to be nice about it. There is nothing that says we can't use our freedom of speech to protest. Legal protest, fighting against that horrible cult. We didn't forget who you guys were. You guys are the hypocrites that you got all these elders that used to be in prison and used to be done been, disfellowshipped themselves and done been through 1 billion divorces, and you got the pedophiles, and you got everything else in your religious structure. At Bethel, you got the pedophile, you got all this stuff going. We didn't forget who you are, and we don't want that sort of thing going into communities with that community being unaware of it. If we make you aware that Jehovah's Witnesses are a destructive cult, they've got pedophile problems and they are not going to do very much about that, so it's just going to grow. They destroy families. They destroy people's economic potential. There are people who are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, surviving, getting away from this terrible cult. But financially, they are not where they should be because that destructive cult taught them what? The end of the world was going to happen any day, and they didn't need to go to college and school. Why would you go to a college when God is about to destroy this entire global system any day now? And they're going to just destroy all these schools, and there's no reason to go. Well, now that the person is 50, 60, 70 years old, and they never got their education, what does that do to them financially? Demolishes their potential. They potentially could have had who knows how many degrees. They potentially could have had who knows how many opportunities to set aside money for retirement and things like that. But because of that cult is destructive in just about every way you can imagine. So Jehovah's Witnesses being gone for a few years because of COVID, gone in the sense of not being actively out in the public view where everybody can see them. We didn't forget who they were. We know exactly who you are and who you are sending out in the people's neighborhoods. You're sending people out that want to take advantage of others. And we do not have to sit back and let it happen. I'm telling you, I've heard the discussions about Jehovah's Witnesses going back out to try and victimize people. I've heard the discussions, and some of the chatter, some of the things that I hear is let's all just be passive. Let's all just let them go back out and start doing things to people, and let's not really protest. Let's not really be the heroes that we are. When we go out and we stand next to one of those Jehovah Witness carts, and we got a sign that says, "This is a cult. My mother, father, whoever died as a result of their policies, or the pedophile problem, or what have you." And that Jehovah Witness takes their cart, tucks their tail between their legs, and runs. You don't know. You just saved who knows whose life. Who knows who would have had a bad day? Who knows who would have been in a weak state mentally or emotionally? They done went through something, and they would have walked past that cart, and that Jehovah's Witness would have pounced on that person and took advantage of the weak state they may have been in. Maybe they just went through a divorce, and that Jehovah's Witness would have came up to them. "Oh, we got magazines with pretty pictures in it. Didn't this look pretty? Well, let us put our fangs in you and we'll make it to where you're going to live in this pretty little magazine here. That's what would have happened. All the people that have gone out and protested on YouTube, online, out in the community, in the kingdom halls, anywhere. The people that have used their freedom of speech to save lives, they're heroes. Right? It's as simple as that. It's simple. It's black and white. The people who are out saving lives and trying to protest, to stop this cult, the protest, those are the heroes. The people in the cult who, instead of using their religious freedom, they've got the religious freedom to sit in their house and read all the watchtowers they want. They have got the religious freedom to sit in the hospital and refuse to let the doctors and nurses help them and just sit there and just die all they want. They have got the religious freedom to decide that individually for that person's personal self, not everybody else. You don't get to just, there is no law that states they get to come to people's doors, they get to go all up in people's communities, they get to stand all next to the grocery store that I gotta go to, they get to go to the park, I want to go to a fair and enjoy myself, where this cult gets to spout their venomous, destructive cult talk all over the place, and I gotta be nice about it. No, let's protest everywhere. When you see a Jehovah Witness, let's protest a Jehovah Witness. See a Jehovah Witness, protest a Jehovah Witness. That's where I'm at with it. Because while Jehovah's Witnesses have been off the radar for most people, and a lot of people may have their guard down, and that's where the world needs us. Ex-Jehovah's Witness whistleblowers, the world needs us now more than ever. They may not remember who these people are, but we've kept tabs on them all this time, even while they were hiding from COVID. Even while the Jehovah's Witnesses were hiding from COVID, we've kept tabs on them. We know they haven't changed. We know these people haven't changed. And the problem isn't the person's individual constitutional right to believe what they want. The problem is they want to go out in people's communities and terrorize them and victimize them. And we don't have to let that happen. They want to stand in front of the grocery cart with the cart. Whoever came up with the cart idea is an idiot. He's an imbecile. Because that makes a Jehovah's Witness easy to spot. You can just drive through your neighborhood. We have essentially ex-Jehovah's Witness neighborhood watch. You can just drive down your neighborhood on a Saturday, and if there's any of those destructive, evil cult members standing there with their carts, you can easily see them because of that big ugly cart. And then we can protest. We got the right to go stand right over there and protest, just like they got the right to stand over there and spout their mess. Right? So let's just be nice to them. Let's forget who they are. Let's forget what they've done. Let's forget what they're trying to do again when they go back out. That's for the birds. That's out. I'm not even entertaining that thought. So We all have the right. When we talk about being nice to Jehovah's Witnesses, let's not forget, we have the right to not be nice. There's no law that says I gotta be nice. Somebody come banging on my door, I gotta be nice. Somebody come wandering around my neighborhood, I gotta be nice. You don't have to be nice, especially not the people who are destroying families and have been doing it for 100 years. Do you know how many people have committed suicide as a result of this cult? Do you know how many people have been damaged socially because of this cult's destructive teaching, that everybody on the inside of the cult is honest and good and everybody outside the cult is destructive and evil? That's their teaching. That's their viewpoint. Everybody outside the cult that ain't listening to them when they go door to door, they're bad people. Well, you got people that grow up their whole lives only having friends that are in the cult because of that. And that's what they want. They want to trap people. They don't want you to have any social networking ability outside of the cult, so that when they get up on the stage and threaten to shun you, it does real damage. We are never going to forget. That cult is not going to be able to go hide under a rock for a few years, then come back out and everybody's going to forget who they are, and everybody's going to be nice to them, and everybody's going to start opening doors like they did years and years and years and years ago. That's in the past. That's over with. That cult's preaching work, as far as actually getting people to listen and bringing them in, that's over with. So we see a Jehovah's Witness. Where is it written where I got to be nice? Where is it written where I have to change my freedom of speech and rearrange it to where it is going to allow this cult member? Because again, we don't care if they practice their religion. They're out trying to victimize everybody else. So if they can go out in the community and say whatever they want, we can go out in the community, say whatever we want. So I want to know what you think. Because again, for the longest time, I've always had the concept that there are Jehovah's Witnesses out there counting time while trying to confuse us. Right? They'll get on YouTube and they'll post under videos. They'll go online and they'll post in chats where they know there are ex-Jehovah's Witness cult survivors. And they'll post things like, let's all be nice when Jehovah's Witnesses go door to door again. Jehovah's Witnesses aren't that bad. Meanwhile, you got all these people dead, dying, without limbs, ain't talked to their own close relative in decades because of the cult destroying their family, who countless people financially not where they could have been. They're not that bad. The whispers you hear. Again, for the longest time, I thought that that's them trying to infiltrate us. That there's going to be some cult Jehovah's Witness who tries to pretend to be one of us, and they're counting their time while they're out trying to broadcast that it's not that bad. Right? That's the narrative that they want to get out there. Oh, it's not that bad. Oh, let's just let them go ahead and victimize some more people. Victimize some more kids. No, we are going to fight against the evil, destructive cult of Jehovah's Witnesses with our freedom of speech. Right? It's not the freedom, it's the person, right? It's not that people have freedom of religion that is the issue. It's individual people decide, oh, I'll take my freedom of religion and I'll impose it on everybody else. I'll go banging on everybody's door and waving my magazine in everybody's face at the grocery store and everywhere. And you all gotta like it and you all better be nice about it. No, sir. No, ma'am. We are going to broadcast the stupidity, which is Jehovah's Witnesses, whenever we see it. So comment down below. Let me know what you think. But we want to live in a world where there are no Jehovah's Witnesses. But because people have the freedom of religion, we want to live in a world where people practice their own religion and leave everybody else alone. Because people should have the freedom to either be a part of religion or not be a part of religion. If you choose not to be a part of religion, they don't get to just come to your freaking front door and wave it around in your face. And you got to be nice about it. They don't get to just get all up in your grocery store and at your fair and set up a tent and wave religion all in your face. If you choose you do not want to be a part of religion, you shouldn't have to be, because technically they should practice themselves. Leave everybody else alone. But because they choose to wave their religion in front and get in people's houses and doors and grocery stores and put their religion in everybody's face, when we're chosen not to be a part of that cult, because they choose to do things like that, right? They choose to essentially freaking push their religion on everybody else. Everybody else can push back and use that freedom of speech and speak up and stand up and protest and fight against that destructive cult. And one day, when we all stand up against this cult, one day we get rid of all of them. One wonderful, beautiful day, Watchtower closes up because we used our freedom of speech. We protested. We stood strong. We educated the communities that they're trying to victimize. And once everybody becomes educated on who this destructive cult is, it's up to them at that point. Our job is done. But at that point, that's when Watchtower closes up shop and there are no more Jehovah's Witnesses and we go dancing out in the streets. 937-789-4029. We'll discuss it. X-Wall Killed Bethelite signing out.